on to everything else, and then I'm in the middle of the day and I'm starving.
My big fat fabulous life is falling apart. Whitney is losing friends left and right.
Don't be salty.
Even Lenny is finally moved on. So what's going on? Why is everyone leaving Whitney? Is this the end of the show? Whitney has recently lost a bunch of her close friends. She no longer seems to be on speaking terms with Heather. Ashley just announced that she's leaving the show. And on top of all of that, Lenny recently had a baby with someone else. I think we can all agree that Lenny was really the only person Whitney ever dated on the show that seemed to have a genuine connection with her. He actually appeared to have feelings for her, but she kept pushing him aside, and now it looks like it's too late for the two of them to ever get back together. In December, Lenny announced that he just welcomed his baby daughter Genevieve, and Whitney is not the mother. The mother is a woman named Allison, and she and Lenny are seemingly together. Lenny posted a couple of photos of him, Genevieve, and Allison around Christmas, and he wrote, "Merry Christmas from our little family," which made it clear that they were one strong unit. So I think Lenny has truly moved on from Whitney once and for all. That's great for him, but it's not exactly great for Whitney, because lately it seems like everyone is leaving her. Like I said, she and Heather no longer seem to be on speaking terms. Just recently, people on Reddit noticed that Heather unfollowed Whitney on Instagram. Weirdly, she still follows her cat, but she isn't following Whitney anymore. Supposedly, there was a point when Whitney stopped following her too, but she is now following Heather once again. So that's kind of weird, but it definitely seems like something must have happened between the two of them. Whitney didn't even make a birthday post for Heather's birthday, which was pretty shocking because she used to do that every year, but now suddenly she just stopped. So what happened? Did the two of them have an argument? Are they just not friends anymore? I really don't think they are, and I also don't think that this is the only friendship that fell apart. Another one of Whitney's friends, Ashley, recently announced that she would no longer be appearing on the show. She made a lengthy statement on her Instagram in which she talked about her current life. She said that she recently got promoted and she seemed very proud of herself, even though she admitted that she felt weird posting publicly about her accomplishments because she knew that she had to address these things because she'd been getting a lot of messages from people about her future on the show. To finally clear things up once and for all, Ashley wrote, "It's true, I won't be on the show anymore, but that's not a bad thing in my life. With my new job, 2 amazing littles, a partner to love, a household to run, I had to find balance somewhere." That's honestly understandable, but there's more. Ashley also said that she's an introvert and that TV was never really for her. She added that she was grateful for everything good that came to her through the show, and she finished her statement by saying, "Here's to moving on and moving up." What struck a lot of people as strange though was the fact that Ashley didn't mention Whitney in her statement once. The two of them are still following each other and they are supposed to be friends. You'd think that Ashley would say at least a couple of words about Whitney, but she didn't. She avoided mentioning her name completely, and that just feels kind of weird because she's leaving Whitney's show, but she never once mentioned her. On top of all this, Ashley and Heather have seemingly been spending quite a lot of time together lately, and with Heather and Whitney seemingly not being on speaking terms, it just makes you wonder. I genuinely think that something must have happened behind the scenes. I mean, Ashley's post made it seem like her decision to leave the show had more to do with her personal life than anything else. But is that actually the case? She's been a working adult with kids for a while now. So what made her make the decision to leave now after all this time? Was it just the promotion she got, or was there more to it than that? Is it related to what happened between Whitney and Heather? And what did actually happen between the two of them? People on Reddit have a few theories. One that's quite popular is that Whitney might have backstabbed her friends. Maybe the producers wanted to focus more on Whitney's new life moving forward and they decided to cut her friends out of the show. If this is the case and Whitney never stood up for them, then I can see how that would have ended the friendships. Obviously, we don't know if this is what happened, but think about it. Whitney's new family being on the show means that TLC now has to pay more people than before. They have all these new cast members that are not going to work for free, and maybe the network decided that they couldn't afford to keep Whitney's old friends around too. So who knows, maybe they offered them a pay cut. It's definitely possible that something like this happened and Ashley and Heather didn't take it well. Ashley is obviously doing great career-wise anyway, so she probably doesn't need the show right now, especially if they were going to pay her less. And it's possible that Heather felt insulted that Whitney basically replaced her with her new family. Again, this is all just speculation. We don't actually know any of this for sure. These are just theories, but I can definitely see something like that happening. Another theory I saw on Reddit was that maybe Whitney was just jealous and obviously likes attention, but a lot of viewers seem to like Ashley and Heather more than they like her. So is it possible that Whitney was jealous? Is this why Ashley won't be appearing on the show anymore, and why Heather unfollowed Whitney? I guess that's also possible. I mean, like I said, something must have gone wrong. A lot of people online suggested that maybe their friends just grew apart. They're almost in their 40s now, and it's clear that they've all changed over the years. Many of Whitney's friends now have kids and are married, so they're all ready to live more adult lives. But Whitney isn't like that. She's in a completely different place. She doesn't have kids or even a serious relationship, and it doesn't look like any of that will happen anytime soon. So maybe they just have nothing in common anymore, and that's why they're going their separate ways. These things happen, and I can see why this is a popular theory. But there's one thing about this that just doesn't make sense. As someone on Reddit pointed out, the fact is that Heather unfollowed Whitney, and let's be honest, that's pretty dramatic. You don't unfollow someone just because you're not as close as you once were anymore. You just move on quietly and still sometimes interact with them on social media if you feel like it. I think that's what most people would do in a case like that. So the fact that Heather is no longer following Whitney on Instagram seems to suggest that there has to be more to it than that. I just don't know why she would publicly unfollow her if there wasn't any drama between them. So I do think that something shady must have happened that made people leave Whitney. I just don't know what that was. But what do you guys think? What do you think is going on? Why are people leaving Whitney? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.